Carlos here from YuGiDojo. I know it's been a while. Sorry, I've been actually sick for some time and got the flu. But anyway, what I want to say is one, Happy New Year's. It's 2011. We made it through. Hopefully everything goes okay with you guys. Actually, with as New Year's comes, we make some resolutions, and I actually, if you go to the site www.yugidojo.com, the recent article there is 10 resolutions for becoming a better Yu-Gi-Oh player for 2011, and these are some of the things that I think that would help us out as for all of us to become better players. Like the number one thing that we need to do as a resolution is to ask for help. We sometimes we feel that we don't need to ask people for help to become better players, but to be honest, that's the only way we become better players, is by asking people for help. Not just so, do you have this card, can I get it, but ask your teammates, or even the people around you, or even the people that are winning tournaments that you're at, and ask them, talk to them about different cards. They may have some ideas that you didn't even think about, that that all of a sudden you're like, that could work. Or they tell you some type of card that, there's thousands of cards that you never even thought of. So I would say ask for help. Approach people, don't be afraid. We're all here to help each other out. Another thing of a resolution that I want to actually start doing myself is to make sure that I have a better mindset on how to play the game. I gotta start thinking, not that I'm always going to lose, but I gotta get that winning mindset. Knowing that I am better, that I have gotten better, and that we're gonna be, that we're gonna be able to win. Winners think as winners; they don't think as losers. So we gotta start thinking as winners. The other thing is, let's be realistic. We're not gonna go win a YCS in the next, several days or whatever. I know it's not coming up in the next several days, but let's be realistic with our goals. Let's at least, if we have some short-term goals, let's top at our locals. That's a first start. Let's, after that, if there's regionals coming around, let's try to top 32 in that regionals there. Let's get our invite. Or if not, if there's like a 200 people tournament, try to be the best you can, even if it's number 33, but let's try to top to make 32. Why not? Let's be realistic about it. We can. The other thing that one of my other resolutions that I think that would help out for all of us is to learn something new. Every day we should be learning something new, not just with Yu-Gi-Oh, but just in life in general. But if we learn something new, that's going to be able to help us later on in the future. I mean, that's why we have these, like these videos and these channels here to help each other out. Hopefully what I'm telling you, you may pick up something new from here and basically help you become a better Yu-Gi-Oh player. And by doing that, maybe with your comments and everything like that, that helps us out to become better Yu-Gi-Oh players and helps us learn something new. Just like in the past, I learned some new rulings just by your guys' comments, and that's great, because I wouldn't have never known that, neither would have any of our other teammates. We always thought it was a certain way, and then you guys tell us a different way, and then we're like, oh yeah, you're right, that does actually work. Another resolution to help you become a better Yu-Gi-Oh player is to adapt new methods. We always get stuck in our minds that this is the only way to do certain things, that you should only play this card when you're playing this particular deck, or you have to, this card is a must-have inside every deck. It doesn't have to be that way. The best way to start becoming winning is by catching people off guard, getting the surprise factors off of people. Just like the recent YCS, the Gravekeeper's deck, it won the top 3 spots. That's because nobody was expecting to ever see that deck. They didn't know. So, they adapted some new things there inside there. I'm not going to go into the Gravekeeper deck or anything, but just like that, they adapted new methods, and look what happened to them. They became much better Yu-Gi-Oh players. The other thing that we need to do as a resolution is to focus on our target. We need to know that, we got to, do things that help us out to become better Yu-Gi-Oh players, and not, you know, start doing other things that's not going to help us become better Yu-Gi-Oh players. You know, if we can get in a game against somebody, play that game, even if it's against somebody that you know you're going to win, but you just never know. While you're playing, you may think of new things that come up. You know, you got to focus to become a better player. The other thing is that you need to know your deck. You know, I know we know the cards that are inside there and what we put in there because we're the ones that do it. But you gotta know your deck. What I mean by that is you gotta know the ins and outs of it. You know, if you get stuck in a certain situation, what are you gonna do to get yourself out of that? What cards can help you? You know, what matches help you out? You know, what matches you don't know? You know, that are hard for your deck. You need to know those things and how you can maneuver yourself out of there. Another thing that you need to do as a resolution that I'm going to be doing, like I said, these are my resolutions here, is to get more social. You know, not just creating these videos and going to the website and everything. You know, I'm going to start going to some forums, you know, speaking to people there, because like I said, just like the number one, ask for help. You learn new things all the time with this, and let's all help each other out. That's what we're all here for. That's why we create these videos for you guys, and that's why we love your comments too. You know, if you want to, you know, we're on Facebook. If you go to the site, you'll see the link for our Facebook, and we're on Twitter too. So if you want to, you know, friend us, follow us on Twitter, and we can communicate with each other. The other resolution that we need to do is to respect your opponent. You know, don't think that just because they're a scrub or they don't know anything that they're not good. Remember, at one point in time you were there also, so you got to respect your opponent, and sometimes your opponent may be even better than you too, so you got to respect them in that case also, so that, you know, learn from them. You know, and the number one thing that we have to do, no matter what, is we have to celebrate our accomplishments. You know, when we win, let's go out and celebrate. You know, get happy about that. That's why we have fun with this game. That's what the whole point of this game is all about, is to have fun. Let's celebrate about it. You know, if you happen to win your first locals, go buy those packs that you want, or go get those sleeves, or whatever it is that you want. But celebrate. You know, as you see, we celebrate all the time when we win, when we open up our pack openings, as you guys see. You know, even up to Little Man gets all excited when we win. You know, we even give him, he gets his picks of packs too and everything like that. You know, so I hope these suggestions, you know, helped you guys out to become a better Yu-Gi-Oh player for 2011. You know, like I said, my goal is to try to make a top 32 at a regionals. That would be really great for my first step to becoming a better Yu-Gi-Oh player for this year. You know, hopefully we almost made it one time, as you saw. I don't know whether you saw that with Selden Regionals. I was number 22, and Frankie and Leo were number 16 and 17. But at that regionals, they only did top 16, so it was number 17 and 18. I'm sorry, that they made it, and I was number 22. So we almost made it. If it was top 32, we would have been in there. But you know, hope you guys have a great 2011. We're going to be creating more videos for you guys in 2011. That's going to hopefully help you guys out, and hopefully you guys help us out too with the comments and everything, you know. So have a great New Year's. Hope to see you soon. Don't forget to go check out the site for more details about these resolutions here. And I would tell you, go sign up for the email newsletter that we have for the site too, because every time we post something new up there, you're gonna get an email to go see it after it's posted. So I would say go check that out. All right, thank you guys for everything, for your support, and put inside the comments what you think of this video, and also what would you like us to help you guys out with. You know, we're here to help each other out, so let me know that too. All right, so happy New Year's again, happy 2011, and let's make sure we get to be better Yu-Gi-Oh players this year. All right, speak to you guys later. Bye.